Doctor Who has appeared in, or been mentioned in, at least 10 video games, and how do we know this? Well, we already did an entire list on it. But there are so many great examples that we decided to do another one. Whether through subtle nods, clever cameos, or just a big old TARDIS plonked in the middle of the map, these titles all took the time to shout out one of the most important television programmes in the history of entertainment. I'm Cy for Who Culture, and this is 10 more times Doctor Who appeared in video games. Number 10. Hidden Weeping Angels, LEGO Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. LEGO is no stranger to Doctor Who, as we saw in the LEGO Dimensions game, but that's far from the only time the Time Lord has turned up alongside the famous interlocking bricks. A TARDIS appears in the LEGO Movie 2, and in the LEGO Batman movie some Daleks can be seen, or as the Joker calls them, British robots. Sticking with the Dark Knight though, let's take a look at his third solo video game outing in LEGO form. On one level set on the moon, a double-decker bus can be spotted in a crater. This seems like a reference to the episode Planet of the Dead, where a London bus gets stranded on a desert planet. Also, a red version of the TARDIS can be built in the level Space Suits You Sir before it quickly vanishes. But the best Doctor Who cameo in the game is from the Weeping Angels, who turn up in 2 different levels. They are beautifully rendered in LEGO, but the attention to detail goes much further than their design. When you first see them, their hands are covering their eyes. However, if you walk away and walk back again, you'll find that their hands have moved. Spooky. Number 9. Someone Ring the Doctor, Destroy All Humans 2. Doctor Who and Great Britain go together like tea and biscuits, cricket and a summer's day, or fish fingers and custard. So whenever there's a video game level set on the streets of Old Blighty, there's a decent chance that Doctor Who will rear its head in some way. A follow-up to the highly successful first game, Destroy All Humans 2 puts you in the moon boot of Crypto, a clone of the original game's protagonist, or antagonist depending on your point of view. While tracking down the KGB, Crypto follows them to Albion, a fictional version of merry old England. Or London, to be specific, the only place that non-English folk actually know about. While wandering around Albion, you can be spotted by civilians. If this happens, they scream a selection of stock phrases, including "Someone ring the doctor" and "Where's the bleeding TARDIS?"
Somebody ring up the proper authorities!
Someone ring the doctor!
Considering that the game is set in 1969, Crypto is actually interacting with some of the earliest Whovians ever. A very nice touch indeed. Number 8. The TARDIS, Goat Simulator. Goat Simulator is a game where you play as a goat and smash things up. That's it, seriously, that's the whole game. Despite its ridiculous premise, or maybe because of it, Goat Simulator has a very strong following. Hopefully some of those fans are also watchers of Doctor Who, because they'll have enjoyed these Easter eggs very much. In the Waste of Space DLC pack, players can visit a bunch of new locations all revolving around sci-fi. Scattered throughout the pack are multiple large bluey-purple portable toilets that bear a strong resemblance to a certain time machine. Behold the TARDIS, and yes, it's still an acronym, and it stands for Totally Useless Restroom Disappearing into Space. If you find and headbutt all of these, you'll be rewarded with the ability to go to the Barda House. And what's the Barda House, you say? Why, it is of course a special bathhouse area with diving boards and a swimming pool. Because Goat Simulator is weird. Did you figure that one out yet? Number 7. Dr. Wen Dragon Fable. Dragon Fable is an online fantasy role-playing game that first started in 2006 and is impressively still going today. Players create a character before traversing the land, interacting with NPCs, getting into fights and completing story quests. So far, so typical for a title of this genre. What we're interested in here is what happens when players take on the Displaced Fates challenge board, where they'll be tasked with defeating characters called N, Tropy and Dr. Wen. A sort of troll ogre-looking fellow, Dr. Wen is a mishmash of both the 10th and 11th Doctors. He's got the blue shirt and casual shoes of 10, but is also supporting the trademark bow tie of his successor. He's also got a little device that is very much supposed to be the sonic screwdriver, in case you needed any further convincing that this was a parody. Oh, and he also shows up in a blue phone box before scolding the player for messing around with time and space. Pretty hypocritical coming from the Time Lord victorious. Number 6. The Doctor's Set, Terraria. 2D sandbox experience Terraria has sold over 44 million copies, making it one of the best-selling video games of all time. And we're going to attribute all of that success to this tiny piece of cosmetic detail, and we will hear no argument otherwise, thank you. For the princely sum of 40 gold coins, Terraria players can equip themselves with a skin called the Doctor's Set. In case you thought these were the clothes of Hannibal Lecter or maybe Percy Ulysses Cox, the Doctor in question is Matt Smith's 11. A dark brown jacket, white shirt and red bow tie all come in the pack. Combined with the poofy brown hair, the 11th Doctor look is actually quite convincing. convincing. Do these clothes give you the ability to travel through time? Do they increase your knowledge and power? Do they let you speak with aliens? Well, no, they're purely aesthetic, but they look cool. Though not actually part of the set, you can also buy a fez in the game. In fact, if you hover over the fez, a little descriptive box appears stating that fezzes are cool. Heard that one before somewhere. Number 5, a familiar phone box, Contrast. In 2013, developers Compulsion Games released Contrast, a puzzle platformer with a neo-noir twist. Players take control of Dawn, the imaginary friend of young Dee Dee. Together they must work to help save Dee Dee's father's circus and reunite him with her estranged mother. It's a wacky concept, that's for sure, so why not make it even more wacky by chucking in a reference to a flying police box? And that's exactly what the good folks at Compulsion did. In the early stages of the game, Dawn and Dee Dee must get a film reel to their father to help him sell the circus to investors. Outside the cinema where the film is being shown, there's a gateway over to the right. If you head over to the gates, you'll be able to peer through and spot the TARDIS standing there clear as day. We're not sure why the box is there, as there's no time travel or proper space stuff in the game. It's set in the past though, so it's possible that the Doctor is on one of their many jaunts through Earth history. Or, you know, the devs just thought it would be neat. Probably that one. Number 4, Secret Messages, Fallout New Vegas. The Fallout series is chock-a-block with Doctor Who references. We already covered the random TARDIS sitting in the desert from the first game, and in Fallout 2 you can meet a robot called K9. When the series was transferred over to Bethesda, the nods to Who didn't stop. A spin-off of the main series, New Vegas is set over 200 years after the nuclear war that devastated the Earth. In its wake, several competing human factions were left, 2 of whom clash in this game at the Battle of Hoover Dam. If the player is on the side of the Legion, they won't get this reference at all, so play on the side of the New California Republic and you're in for a wibbly-wobbly treat. If you tune into the NCR emergency radio, then you might hear somebody say, "Bravo, Bravo, Charlie, the Doctor is coming."
Location, Bravo, Bravo, Charlie. The Doctor is coming.
Now, this could be any old Doctor, you are in a battle after all, but what about Bravo, Bravo, Charlie? Well, in the military phonetic alphabet, that just so happens to spell out BBC, Doctor Who's home since it began in 1963. Number 3, Terraforming Arctic Refrigeration Dispersing Ice Spreader, RuneScape. If you want to talk about video games that have been going a long time, then RuneScape has pretty much got most things beat. This classic MMORPG has been up and running since 2001 and still supports a vibrant community to this very day. The fact that RuneScape is so big and has been running for so long means it's hardly shocking that it has references to Doctor Who in it. However, did you expect said references to also contain murderous flightless birds? The KGP, or Killer Gentoo Penguins, are an organisation hell-bent on taking over the land of Gielinor for all of penguin kind. To do this, they have built a doomsday device capable of transforming the world into one big icy plane. Its name, the Terraforming Arctic Refrigeration Dispersing Ice Spreader, or TARDIS for short. It's not just the name that RuneScape borrowed from Doctor Who, as this TARDIS is also a big blue box. The antenna on top is a bit more Bill and Ted, but everyone knows that's just a Doctor Who ripoff as well. As far as nods to the show go, this has to be one of the most unique. Also, you can definitely tell someone that this was the plot of a classic Who episode and they'd probably believe you. Number 2, Don't Blink, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Before Henry Cavill turned Netflix into his own personal thirst trap, The Witcher was a series of novels that got turned into an even more popular series of video games. Things really took off with 2015's The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which sold over 40 million copies worldwide and is considered by many to be one of the greatest fantasy games ever made. All this despite the fact that it nearly unleashed an unspeakable evil into the world. During the side quest Witcher Wannabe, smouldering hero Geralt of Rivia comes across a small building containing some supplies. Outside the building stands 2 angelic statues. You can see where this is going. When the player exits the building, the statues have both moved. The Witcher himself even comments on this, saying, "Wonder what this means." "It means you're doomed, you grey-haired idiot, now run away!" The statues do some more following depending on where you stand before vanishing completely. Great, now they're in the real world. Thanks, Geralt. Don't you know that any image of an angel becomes an angel? Rookie mistake. And number 1, a whole bunch of them. Life is Strange. The Life is Strange series started back in 2015 with the story of Max Caulfield. Through a series of decision-based episodes, players control Max and her ability to rewind time as she and her friend attempt to prevent an oncoming storm threatening to destroy their town. Oncoming storm, you say? The first Life is Strange is filled to the brim with Doctor Who references, some subtle, some not so much. First up, we have Warren, local science geek, and Hotshaver for our Max. He gives her a flash drive full of pirated movies and TV shows, and Doctor Who happens to be one of them. Has to be the older episodes though. Warren just strikes us as a classic guy. He's also got the TARDIS as his email account icon and actually calls himself the Doctor at points. Oh Warren, you lovable loser you. Later, Max comes across an owl that she names Doctor Who, and then there's the crown jewel of all references. While snooping around Victoria's room, Max comes across a receipt for a dry cleaners. On it, we can see that she was served by a woman called Amelia Pond. Bravo, Life is Strange. Bravo. And that's the list. Let us know what you thought of this video down in the comments below. Which of these Doctor Who video game references did you come across? And of course, let us know of any others that we didn't include. Make sure you like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Head over to whatculture.com for more content every day. I've been Cypher Who Culture, and have a good week.